as Yoda kicks off the Battle of Kashyyyk in the Revenge of the Sith movie by proclaiming, "And now the time is, Commander." It's now time to review the at AP Walker as we continue the May the Power of the Force prequel trilogy toy reviews right now. And before we dive into the review, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat. Hey, Star Wars fans, welcome back to Toy Habits, where we are diving into the galaxy far, far away, one toy at a time from various YouTubers across the galaxy. And today we're taking a closer look at the at AP Walker, which is the all-terrain attack pod from the Revenge of the Sith movie, which is one of my favorite of the prequel trilogy movies. This is a really cool design from the Clone Wars era, and it's made a few appearances across Star Wars media, but most notably during the Battle of Kashyyyk and Battle of Fallujah in the Revenge of the Sith movie. During the Battle of Kashyyyk, AT-APs were deployed to support Republic ground clone troopers to counter the separatist attack on the Wookiee planet of Kashyyyk. These AT-APs were three-legged heavy artillery walkers used by Republic clone forces, and in Revenge of the Sith, it's briefly seen in the Battle of Kashyyyk supporting Wookiee and clone troopers as they fend off the separatists. You'll spot them in the background with its massive central cannon lobbing shells into enemy lines. And you'll see a quick pan of these AT-APs during the Battle of Fallujah, the vibrant, colorful jungle world where Jedi Aayla Secura tragically meets her demise during Order 66. If you blink, you might miss these vehicles as the shots pan really fast, but they are very cool nods to the AT-STs, which we saw in the original trilogy. So let's jump in and see if this walker deserves a spot in your collection. All right, and before we crack this open, let's take a moment and take a look at the packaging. And Hasbro had a really cool design for the 30th anniversary collection in 2008. The box features bold red and white styling and that angled slanted front panel that became iconic for this line. Right up front, we can see a dynamic image of the AT-AP Walker set in the Battle of Kashyyyk with the Wookiee trees and the clone troopers in the background. It's gritty, cinematic, and really sets the tone properly for what you're going to see inside. You'll also notice the 30th anniversary logo in the top corner, which is a subtle nod to the 30 years of Star Wars since A New Hope hit theaters in 1977. On the back of the box, there is a full breakdown of the AT-AP's features, and it has a rotating cannon, opening cockpit, deployable third leg, and it features a nice product shot of the actual toy. Hasbro even included a brief blurb tying the vehicle into Revenge of the Sith in case you forgot exactly where it popped up. For collectors, this box is definitely worth displaying, especially if you're a fan of this Star Wars 30th anniversary packaging. Now, I've had this vehicle in my shed for a long time now, and I purchased this from the Toy Fusion store in Sacramento, California. And if you're local to the area or visiting, it's definitely worth a visit. They have a huge selection of vintage toys, and I'm going to steal a line from Mega J Retro. Tell them Toy Habit sent you. I'm actually going to be opening this to show the contents on the inside as you were actually opening this in 2008, just to see what we get. And since this is not a plastic package, which we're not going to hear the very annoying sounds, we can kind of see how the toy is displayed in the box. And you can see how the walker is packed, and there is a little assembly required for this vehicle. So let's get this assembled, and I hope there are no, oh boy. All right, I just noticed that there is a decal that I will need to place on here. I'm suck at placing decals, but hopefully I'll pull it together and place this correctly and not crooked like little me when I was 7, placing awkwardly all the stickers on my toys. So let's get this put together and I will be right back. Now that the AT-AP is assembled, let's take an overall look at the aesthetic of the vehicle. And first, Standing on three articulated legs, it does have that signature chicken walker stance, but with the extra third leg that deploys for stability when it's in firing position. Overall, the color scheme is a mix of light and dark gray with splashes of green and a little bit of orange flare. The detailing here is excellent with the panel lines, Republic symbols, and its very angular designs. The panels look like real metal, and you can see the fine detailing on the cockpit door and the front of the vehicle. And in the back, where they have the engine vents and a nice basket in case the clone troopers want to go on a picnic. Now let's talk about the articulated legs. Now the legs are on ratcheted joints, and here is how the third leg can deploy. And one of my main gripes with the design is the limited articulation in the legs, and although it looks like the ankle joints can rotate, they do not. So here are the places it can rotate. The top legs rotate here underneath where the cockpit door is, and it also has a hip joint, if you will, that rotates here. And the third leg just rotates at the top, which makes it very difficult to position. The cockpit opens on both sides, and you can fit 2 clone troopers inside. And you can also fit a third clone trooper on top in the gunner position, but I would not want to be in this position as you are exposed during battle. The main gunner position rotates a full 360 degrees and can shoot a projectile, although mine seems to have a defect from the factory as the missile does not fully leave the cannon chamber when it's fired. Below the gunner position is a large cannon with very limited range of motion and a smaller chin turret that rotates 180 degrees. Overall, Hasbro did a great job capturing the gritty, utilitarian look of Republic-era vehicles. Now, the vehicle overall gives the AT-AP a very serious, heavy artillery vibe, and it's something that really sets the AT-AP apart from the well-known AT-ST. So, final thoughts. The AT-AP Walker might not be as iconic as the AT-AT or the AT-ST, but it does have its own unique charm. It has a great sculpt, very solid articulation and presence, and just enough screen time on Revenge of the Sith to make it canon worthy. If you're a prequel fan or just love Republic era vehicles, this one's worth tracking down. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to catch the other 2025 May the Power of the Force prequel trilogy reviews during this month.